Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And I am here to do a quick little mashup of reality shows. And these are actually shows that I do not review. Well, one of them is Married at First Sight, which I do review that. But I'm not going to do the entire episode because it was just kind of boring. Like, y'all, this show stays on too long. I'm sorry, 2 hours is just too long. I cannot. The other issue I have with this show is that, in my opinion, actually all of the years, they don't show enough of the black people. I feel like we get tons and tons of all the others and maybe 10 minutes an episode all together because they got to space it out like 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there of the black people. Like, I feel like I need to see and hear more of Zach and Michaela. I don't know what's going on. Like, she's acting, well, I do know what's going on because I said it before. I said they did it. Honeymoon night. They did it. She was so far gone and attracted. And that's why she was acting crazy when he had COVID. And that's why she's acting crazy now. She is acting batshit crazy. And I'm like, what does this man have going on that he said this is what happens to him all the time? That the ladies just lose it for him. I'm like, oh, okay, Zach, we're going to get your number for Miss Misha for real. All right, so since we're talking about Married at First Sight, we may as well just stay on it. So in this episode, they have friends and family over for housewarming. And I'm just going to break it down a little bit. And you guys, I've decided that I'm no longer talking about Jose and his dry wife because they are just dry. I'm sorry. They keep regurgitating the same conversation about finances and I'm over it. Like, I cannot with them. And I'm almost that way with Val and Johnny because Johnny, I can't with him. I don't see it for him at all. I think Johnny is playing with this poor girl's head and you know she's just allowing it. It's unfortunate. But back to Zach and Michaela. Okay, so they have this housewarming and she ended up wanting to call it off because of when they got into it when she was acting really crazy and she, you know, had a fit about him not telling her exactly where he was going and he went to go walk the dog and yada yada and this girl lost it. She like packed her little IKEA bags and she was out of there. So apparently he thought they were fine. She wasn't fine. She wanted to call off the housewarming. He's just like, listen, these are red flags all around. I've dealt with this. Don't want to deal with it anymore. And I get it. And she's giving off crazy. So they have the housewarming. And after the housewarming, I'm not going to talk about anything. I mean, okay, they have the housewarming. They talk to each other's friends and all that, whatever. After the housewarming, he's telling her how, listen, I don't want to stay here tonight because I even got anxiety coming here. I didn't want to come here. And I'm like, damn, he's done. Like, he sounds done. I understand that what she did was crazy, but Jesus, for you to just be that done, that final, that quickly, I don't know. And she was wrong, you guys. I'm not going to say that she wasn't. She was so wrong, and she looked so crazy in that instance, and just her whole behavior, what he did or what she said he did not warrant that behavior. However, I just felt some kind of way with this girl standing there begging him and like really over apologizing to this man and he's just not budging. And I know that they did it. I'm sorry because I feel like had they not had sex already, he would have been like, oh, okay, because we all know that they act better before they get it, like they just do. And so I just feel like the fact that he's already gotten it or whatever, like I just hated seeing her over apologize to him. Not saying she did not deserve to apologize because she did. So I'm not saying that Michaela was right in anything that she did. She was wrong and she looked batshit crazy. However, I didn't like her standing there having to beg him because I really feel like it would have gone the other way if she would have been doing like Mirla and not even kissing this dude. She gave him too much too soon. But what can we say? They were married. People expected it. People were okay with that. Okay. You know what? And the last thing I want to mention about them is, number one, he said he was on his way there. So apparently he hasn't been staying there. I don't know. And then he asked her, are you staying here the night? So has the rules changed on this show where they don't have to stay together at the house or whatever? I don't understand because it seems like they can come and go from this house as they choose. Whereas before everybody had to live together somewhere. So you guys, let me know if the rules have changed, because I was thinking the same thing when Johnny told Bao that he didn't want to stay. He was gonna take a couple nights off. I was like, what the hell? I'm looking all around like, what? Where he going? He could do that? Like, did they change it on us? And the very last thing I want to say about Michaela and Zach is this whole situation reminded me of something this guy that I used to work with told me. I was doing something, it was some online, it was a lot of years ago or whatever, and I'm laughing with him and I'm like, hey, should I do this? And to somebody I was dating or something, and he was just like, and I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was that serious, but he said, listen, you can't take back crazy. And I was like, but you know I'm not crazy. And it's just, funny or whatever. And he's like, you may think it's funny. He may not think it's funny. And period. You just can't take back crazy. So, and that has always stayed with me. Like, you can't take back crazy. So she's kind of already shown herself to be crazy. And I feel bad for her, unless she's crazy. Now let's touch on Mirla and Gil real quick. So they had their housewarming. Theirs looked really, really nice because it looked like they had lots of really good drinks. But they had their housewarming where, of course, they met with friends. Everybody talked to everyone else's friends, this and that. And, it was just a big deal, the whole thing with the money situation. That's their ongoing theme, of course. And him not getting a kiss. And he's saying he doesn't care. However, he talks about it every 2 minutes. So I would say that he cares. I don't know. I can't really call it with this lady. I don't know if she likes him or not. Like, she met his mom and she made, comments like, oh, he's very handsome and stuff like that. But she doesn't act like it. I don't know. She's hard to read. But I didn't like when they were meeting the mom. She met the mom for the first time via like FaceTime. And I mean, I get it. It's a joke about her. And she's like, yeah. And handbags and like everything she talked about was money. Okay, girl, we get it. We get it. You like nice things. You can afford them, obviously. You make more money than he does. Your account was looking better than his. So Gil can just shut up. Shut the hell up, Gil. If she can afford it, shut up. So what's the big deal? He wants to constantly talk about how many jeans she has and shoes and this and that or whatever. Great, good for her. But really, her her closet looked a little junky to me. I'm like, shit, if you got all that really expensive stuff in there, how about you keep it looking better by keeping your space looking a little bit better? I don't know. I could just be hating because I am not here for Mila. Y'all already know that. And what's going on with her hair? Like, why does she never do her hair? Why does her hair just look dirty? It just really does. We as women know when your hair is dirty and stringy. When it gets stringy and greasy, that means it's dirty and it needs to be washed. And I don't understand why she never washes her hair. It just looks, in every single scene and episode, it just looks nasty. And I just need for her to wash her hair. If you are going to be this super bougie girl, keep it together. Like, she don't look like it. She don't carry herself like it. We have yet to see Mirla looking fab. I'm sorry, I haven't. Have y'all? Like, I haven't seen her dressed to the nines and looking like she require all of this shit that she's talking about. So basically, I'm still not seeing it for Mirla. I'm not. And I can't wait until they get into an argument so I can see it. And yes, I know it's shitty, but it is what it is. I won't say I don't like her. I'm going to stop saying I don't like people. I just don't see it for her. Period. Poo. Y'all have a lot of young adults in my family. Don't judge me. All right, and last and very least is Bao and Johnny. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, I'm tired of Johnny. I really am. I'm tired of Johnny. You guys, I feel like he plays with her emotions just way too much. 1 minute it's up, next minute it's down. It's, yeah, I'm not feeling her. And then when they all met up and he's talking to the guys and they're like, well, are you attracted to her? And he does his whole hemming and hawing thing. The same thing he did to, was it Cal or whatever? Is he a doctor, reverend, pastor Cal? Yeah, he did this whole thing like he's not attracted to her. Oh, she has a nice body and her face is cute, but I guess he's just not attracted to her ways. I would love to know the type of woman that Johnny likes because it hasn't been working. So, sir, I'm gonna need you to think outside the box, but he's an asshole, so I don't know that he can. But yeah, he goes into the bathroom and he's like crying because he's not attracted to her. I'm like, really? Are you doing all this crying? Dude, I think I may have, done this too soon and I thought I was ready. How'd you think you were ready to be married when you are not ever ready to even commit? Like you said, that any little thing that happens, you run. So how do you go from being a runner to being ready to be married? It's bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bull. But he goes in the bathroom, he's crying, and then Jose goes, and you guys, the way he hugged Jose with both arms real tight, I'm gonna leave that there. But that's way more action than my girl Bao has gotten the entire time. I'm telling you, he has such a man crush on Jose. He really does. But I'm just tired of him playing with her emotions, and I'm tired of her allowing it. So I want to talk about the scene that it looked like from what's going to happen next week. It looks like they're going to end up doing it, which is why she was all smiling. Oh, he's happy, I'm happy. And I'm like, girl, nothing that he was doing and saying said, okay, let me give it to him. Nothing. All this, oh, I don't know. No, if you don't know, then I'm sorry. We're not playing with you in that way. I'm not giving up the cookie and you don't know. So pass. But it looks like maybe she gave him the cookie. They're both happy right now. And then when he does something or whatever, her crazy comes out. And she's like, she gives it to him where she's not taking his crap anymore. And I'm like, that is what happens when you sleep with these people. I'm telling you, these women, well, some of these women just lose it. The attachment is real. So y'all better, you men better be careful. And ladies, come on, if they're not feeling you, don't be giving up the cookie like that. So that's pretty much it for them, for all of them. So we're done with Married at First Sight. Let's talk about another crazy guy, but he's like crazy in real life from the interviews that I have been seeing. And that is Darion from Put a Ring on It. So this is just basically my opinion on these people from Put a Ring on It, because Darion, you guys, I don't like the show. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the show. I think it's very dry. It's very boring. I only watch the show because, sorry, gotta say her name again, Miss Misha. She reviews it, and so just to kind of stay up on it, I started watching it because I wanted to watch the reviews. However, like towards the end, I think I left off when they had like maybe 3 or 4 episodes left. Didn't catch the reunion or anything. I just caught her reviews because I can't, like, it's just so boring, you guys. It really is boring. But Darion has been doing interviews, and he did this really long interview with Little Black Book, and I couldn't watch past a couple minutes, well, a few minutes, because he was just very annoying, and like, he made me, I wanted to fight him. I was just like, he's so crazy. The stuff that he was saying, you guys, he comes off as if he has something against black women, to me. The way he was just like, oh, the Greek girl, she cooks, she does that. He kept saying American women don't do that. And then he said something else about a different girl. It wasn't the Greek girl, but she wasn't black or whatever. And he was like, yeah, she does this because that American women, and every time he said American women, I was just thinking he really meant black women. I'm sorry, he just meant black women. And then he talked about how he had once lived in the house with the Greek girl and the baby mama, and everything was lovely. They were both working, and it sounded like they were taking care of him. And I was just like, you're a bum. You come off as a bum. I'm sorry. The condo isn't yours. You pretty much said that, you had to do some kind of scheme or whatever with your ID in order to get it. He comes off as a bum, and he's very narcissistic. All this is allegedly, you guys, I guess I gotta say that. It's my opinion on what I've seen, and it's alleged from stuff he said. But he just comes off to me as are narcissistic, and I know we use that term a lot. However, some people really do have the qualities of it, and he does. Like, but not only that, he's crazy. Like, he's just not even narcissistic. He's crazy, crazy. Like, the stuff that he was saying, I was like, what's wrong with this guy? And then he was just going on and on and on, and he was just talking like crazy. And Little Black Book wasn't getting a word in edgewise. And he was still saying that, oh, I'm not getting my point across. You're not letting me say what I need to say. And I'm like, well, then say it. God damn it, you've been talking for like 5 minutes about one subject and you haven't answered the question, and you're still talking and saying that you're not getting your point across. So he's a problem. He was basically saying that they lied to get on OWN. He doesn't like Oprah. He feels like she's problematic because she's friends with Gayle, and this man really thinks he's known, and I don't know who he is. I still don't. To this day, I have yet to Google him and his group. I don't know who he is. And he's like, I have to really be careful about who I bring around me because I don't know who likes me for me because I'm a celebrity. And I'm like, are you? Number one, he's not anyone that I would talk to, because he's just not. And number two, I have no idea who he is, and he just has this inflated sense of self and importance, and I'm just like, dude, he was so irritating. Then he came back, he did a live and was posting how he's upset with Little Black Book because he didn't ask the right questions or whatever. And I'm like, this dude just crazy. And then he came out and he's counting out this money. He's like, he's making it seem like I was broke and this and that or whatever, and I have money. And he pulls out this money and he's counting out these hundreds, and he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then he throw it to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like, he can't count past 10. He just can't. That's why he's only counting to 10 and passing it out after, like, keep going, dummy. Oh my God. But I don't know who to believe. Like, he was saying that they were lying, and him and the Alexia girl was never really in a relationship, and they were just trying to get on, and then she wouldn't stick to the plan or whatever. He's just trying to milk his 15 minutes of fame, which he said. So I would be happy when he's done. When everybody is done with him, this will be my one and only time talking about him because I was so irritated with this man. Oh my God. And then there's the girl Kai, and she's a little off too. So I feel like they belong together. Apparently she messed up his car. She wrote on his car with a marker, and he's saying how the bailman or whatever, the man downstairs, he wiped it off, and so it was not a big deal. But she was acting crazy over him. I don't know why. But I saw a live with her, and I only watched about 10 minutes of it. It was disgusting. She was like using so much profanity. Now, y'all, I know I curse, and I say a little something ever so often. And if you catch me on the right day, I'll say a lot of something, but it's not just back to back to back to back. But she was just like going in, and the stuff that she was talking about, and her son, you could tell, was just a little too grown and involved. And I just felt bad for him because I was like, she's crazy too. Like, how do they find these crazy people? And I think these two belong together. So the other Alexia girl or whatever, the super boring girl, I don't know anything really about her other than what I saw on the show. I don't know if she's a liar too, like him, but to be involved in this whole situation, anyone being involved with him gotta be a little off because he is definitely not all there. All right, and lastly, we have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You guys, it has been giving. This show has been giving. It really has. Even though the only real drama is about Erika and her shitty situation, but these girls give, and I appreciate it. So basically, they have a dinner party, and we know that, she snapped on Sutton. I was not happy about how everyone just allowed her to talk to Sutton in that way. And I just think the longer that you're on these shows, these girls that are very seasoned, they know to just be quiet and let it play out. However, this was just too much. I just think Erika is too much. I hate the fact that they're all really scared of her. They all seem to be really scared of her. Dorit finally stood up and said something about, that's not fair. And then it seemed like Kyle was trying to stand up for her as well when she was threatening her. But all in all, these girls just let Sutton take it, basically. They let this girl really go at her, and it wasn't fair. I felt bad for Sutton. I also felt bad for Kathy Hilton because she is not used to all that. She was just sitting there looking like, these girls have lost it. Like, what is wrong with them? She's like, in all her years, and her butler, like, they're not used to that. They don't know what's going on here. These women are obviously not as cultured as she is. Like, this is not acceptable. So I feel bad for Kathy. But I did appreciate PK when he was talking to Dorit, and he was saying how, Erika's wrong, and does she talk about the victims and this and that. Like, I was like, okay, he is really preaching. Like, it seems to me that the men get it, and the men don't mind saying really what's going on. Like, this is all BS, and these women, especially Renna and Kyle, pussyfooting around this girl, I don't like it. So you guys, Garcelle gave this party, and when I tell you, all of the candles outside and the candles inside, so freaking beautiful. I was in love with the way they had all those candles outside. Just in love with it. It's the little things, and the thing is, I'm just gonna say that it's just the little things. Like, that wasn't a huge deal, but it kind of was. Like, it just set everything off before you even get in the door. I was in love with it. So not too much happened at the party. They ate. Renna complained about the food and then gave herself kudos for trying it because it's not anything that she would normally eat. I don't blame her on that one because none of it looked appealing to me. I don't really eat fish and all that stuff like that either. So, fine. But nothing really happened at the party except they were cold, and I didn't understand why. I'm like, girl, can you just turn your air down or turn your heat up a little bit? Like, do you really have to go and get coats for everybody? And then it was just so weird that all of a sudden, they were all like, oh, I gotta go. And of course, Renna was like, me too. Erika's like, me too. And I'm just like, ew, that just makes it seem like y'all didn't want to be here because they never did that at anyone else's party. So that was shitty. But that was pretty much my take on that show. The only thing that really happened was Erika threatening Sutton. And I'm not threatening you, I'm promising you. And she get this really deep voice and she's like, I'm just not kidding and I'm not playing and you can just play with me if you want. And I'm like, I would have just backslapped her. Like, I'm sorry. Just backhand her and be done. Because, ma'am, I feel like it's just too much. And you know what gets me about this show is that everybody talks mad shit in the confessionals. However, they don't do that when the people are around. Renna says stuff. Kyle says things. Oh, I think her bark is worse than her bite. And I'm like, yeah, but you still don't try her either. Like, she sits there, she goes off, no one tells her anything. No one says, okay, Erika, that's enough. Too much. Enough. None of y'all. So, yeah. We'll see what happens next week when Kyle's husband and PK is like, listen, she's lying. No, I don't think they say she's lying. But they do, pretty much hold her feet to the fire. And, of course, Kyle is looking crazy. And, I appreciate that. I appreciate the men not caring because this girl is ridiculous. PK bringing up how she's posing and her captions and everything on Instagram like she doesn't care about the victims. And yeah, that's how she comes off, like she doesn't care about the victims. And I don't think she does. I really don't. So we'll see what happens. But that is it for my reality show wrap up or my mashup of things that I don't normally talk about. But I do have very strong opinions about because it's what I've kind of been looking at online. So if you are still here, you are the real MVP and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe, please, you guys. It's so funny because I have so many people that visit my channel, but I'm under 250 subbies. It's not right. Like, I just got kudos from YouTube a couple weeks ago, like, yeah, you've reached all these views, over 10,000 views, this and that or whatever. And I'm like, I can't tell because why do I only have 250 subbies, whom I am very appreciative of. Like, I am so appreciative of you 250 that I do have. But yes, if you have not subscribed already, please do. All right. And I will see you guys in the next video. I think I am going to do I think I am gonna do a weekend wrap up, although I feel like it's gonna be pretty sad. So we'll see. Because I don't want it to make me sadder. I'm trying to get out of what's going on and do this to kind of take my mind off things. So it's so many rest in pieces that I have to say for the weekend wrap up. But we'll get her done. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon. Smooches.